My name's Shalise. Vikings has officially returned, everybody. Season 5 is here. 2 episodes premiered. It was the title of the episode was called The Departed for episode 1 and episode 2. I'm going to give my review on both episodes, so let's start off. Vikings has returned. We start off with the death of Sigurd, the burial of him. Ivar is trying to explain to his brother Fitz, I forgot I don't know how to pronounce his name, and Ube, and also to Bjorn, and to King Harold and his brother Halfdan, why he killed his brother, that he did not think about it, anger overtook him, which I honestly believe Ivar did not think when he drew the axe. I think his rage took control of him and he swung the axe, but it's causing tension between Ube and Vitzik, and it caused some tension between Bjorn. Bjorn decides to go with Halfdan over to the Mediterranean to fulfill his destiny and to explore more without going to Kattegat to see his mother. King Harold decides to go back to Kattegat and to replay the mission to Lagertha and to tell her that Ragnar has been avenged and that both King Epic and King Ayla are now dead. So, the first episode of The Departed dealt with the brothers' interactions after the death of Sigurd and their conquering of a town called York. And I loved how the interactions between all the brothers, between Ivar, between Ube, between Vitzik. And the thing is, though, between these brothers, they each had different opinions. Ivar and I gotta pronounce his name again. Vitzik both decide to want to attack York. Ube doesn't want to, but Ivar explains to him that there's a river, and we could protect this. We could protect this type of land and something else. So they decide to invade York. Ube mentions that what their father did. Wait until a couple of days, until the people are at church, and then we strike. They do that. They capture some boys, and then they tell them that when's the church is going to be, when's the saint day, and all that stuff. And they come, they conquer. And how they conquer, they are killing off stuff. Ivar just destroyed this priest. In one little Game of Thrones style of melting gold and pouring it onto a guy. Vicious and cruel. Ivar the Bones, Ivar the Cruel, is here. He's here to stay, and I love it. And the thing is, though, even though he was doing this stuff, Vitzik was also taking part in the killing and pillaging and all that stuff. Ube was killing, yeah, but he killed mostly the armed people. When it came to the actual civilians, he didn't look like he enjoyed it. Just very much like how not Ivar, or very much how like Ragnar did not like to do all that killing in season 1. So overall, very solid episode for The Departed. I really liked the interaction between the brother, how they have different opinions, and overall, I'm just tremendously impressed with this entire freaking episode. I would just love this episode of The Departed, the first part. We also see how Floki is leaving to go with the gods to be in the ocean and to see what the gods decide for him. And his goodbye to Ivar is very tragic. Ivar really misses him. You could tell he cried when Loki said goodbye to him and all this stuff. And even though Ivar wanted him there because he didn't really have no other friends besides his brothers, and right now his brothers are kind of mad for him for killing the other brother. It's different, but overall, I just love Ivar's and Floki's relationship. I love how after the battle, Ivar's like, to us, my brothers, and Ube's like, for also for Sigurd. Vitzik is just honestly just looking at it, and he's like, he sees the tension between the two brothers, but he doesn't get involved. He's like, I think he is more forgiving than Ube in a sense. But how it's just made the show looks like Vitzik didn't care about that. Sigurd, it felt like he cared more about his own glory, about his own stuff, and with Ivar he could achieve that. What also happened during this entire 2 episodes, besides the conflict and taking over York, we're introduced to a new English people, Bishop Hedman. Bishop Hedman is a very religious man who believes that he's a very sinful man for having sexual desires towards women and all that stuff. For basically all his sins that he has, he's very much like ate the wolf in the sense that he'll punish himself, like whip himself or put himself through a branch of thorns for God. He questions God, but he also is utterly devout to God, and he also wants to wipe out the pagans or to convert them. We learned that we also seen a burial of King Egbert. He gets King Egbert body, he buries him, and he has also respect for King Egbert. Ate the wolf in part one of the stuff. Him and his wife are in hiding, and King Alfred is sick, and like how he was in the history books, they use leeches to make sure he doesn't die. They changed the actor though, and I don't think it was enough time to gradually change the actor to make him to basically make him much older and all that stuff. Because the timeline's a little bit off, but I honestly cannot tell you. I just didn't really like the fact that they kind of rushed Alfred's character growing up so quickly, since it's basically not that much time that has passed. Overall, I enjoyed that stuff. I enjoyed how Judith and Aethelwulf are a little bonding more and conflicted during this harsh time. They are against each other, but they're with each other at the same time. And in part 2, Alfred has a vision while he's sick, and he believes it was his father, Athelstan, now saying go to York and defeat the Vikings there. And Bishop Hedman meets with King Aethelwulf and Judith and all the stuff, what he plans to do, and he's waiting for a better time to strike and to take over the town of York. And now that they're back. Also during this one, we had stuff with Catacat. King Harold got found out by Lakatha. She imprisoned him. She basically was having sex with him, then got off him when he was about to climax. So she's just playing mind games with him. She wanted to know why should she spare him. He gave her the reason why, because he did it for the love of a woman. She's dead, so. But the thing is, though, with what I did not like about this moment of the show was that King Halfdan, or King not Halfdan, King Harold. King Harold was basically, he was captured by Lakatha, and then in part 2, he's immediately free, but we don't see how, and he immediately kidnaps Astrid. And during this time, Astrid has this little conflict with Lakatha, and the next thing you know, the entire scene just goes down to basically King Harold just talking to Astrid and trying to convince her to be the queen of all Norway with him as king. So overall, that's a very interesting scene. What I did like was also in Catacat was Torvi's son, who is, I didn't catch his name, but he is the adopted son of Bjorn Ironside, but he's also the son of Jarl Borg. And Jarl Borg was a character in season 2 I greatly enjoyed. And I always thought that he was very wronged not by Ragnar, but by King Horik, and I just really like this character, and the fact that he has a son, and that Torvi still respected Jarl Borg, and I think even Ragnar respected Jarl Borg in a sense, but the fact that we get his son in this show, and that we're going to see him, I'm excited to see where he's going to end up. I'm excited to where he's going to happen. I'm pretty sure he's going to die. And this thing stuff, we need to have dead bodies to go around. I think Astrid is going to die. I think King Harold will die. I think Halfdan will die. Also, what was interesting seeing before Halfdan and Harold were arguing with not arguing with each other. Harold decided he wanted to be still king of all Norway, and he was saying he was going to miss his brother and all that stuff. But Halfdan was basically he says, I have no ambitions to be king or none of that stuff. You had too much ambition for the both of us. Halfdan basically said, I just wanted to travel, to explore the Mediterranean. I want to explore certain areas. And he goes with Bjorn. And Bjorn, for his part, he just basically wants to fulfill his destiny. He's not staying with Ube Ivar Hitzvik. I gotta figure out his dang name. I really gotta do. Everyone needs to pronounce his name. Bitzik. But overall, these entire characters are just really, really well. I say part 1 is better than part 2. Just because the part 2 felt a lot more with Floki and him time in the ocean than him landing in a place and he thinks it's Valhalla or Asgard, the place of the gods and all that stuff. Reality, I think he's in Iceland and there's a volcano by, so who knows what's going to happen there. But Vikings, really looking forward to this entire show. Having fun with it. Season 5, off to a great start. I love part 1 more than part 2, but overall, Vikings Season 5, Episode 1, The Departed, great start to the series. Really loving it. 8 more episodes to go. Let me know what y'all think. Subscribe if you like. Discord on the link down below. Let me know. Respect my opinion. I respect yours. Let me know what y'all think, everybody, of Vikings Season 5 to premiere. Let me know what y'all think. And by the way, it was 50 episodes today. 50 and 51 if we're counting part 1 and part 2 of The Departed. But overall, so excited for Vikings. It's officially back. Can't wait to see everybody. None more I gotta say. Name Jalise, signing off for everybody. Bye bye.